So the Mary Martin Fund is really the story of two couples and many partnerships. Mamie and Jack were married 100 years ago this year and set off for a new life in Nyasaland where Jack was to be a missionary. Before she married, Mamie was a teacher in Edinburgh and Helensburgh. She was quite feisty and quite opinionated. And nowadays, you would call her a feminist. During her time in Malawi, she was outspoken about equal opportunity. She didn't use that terminology. And she was influential in teacher training and in teaching girls and women in her own community. Part of the process of writing the book, Margaret, my mum, and John, my dad, travelled to Malawi in the early 90s. They had connections there. Malawi and Scotland are always about connections. And this was Maxwell Banda, who was a minister and had spent some time working in Scotland. There's a wee story about Maxwell's connection with the family, which I won't tell you just now. It's another good story. So just before they came home, they were sitting, as you do in Malawi, in the cool of the evening, sitting outside and just chatting. And they said to Maxwell, what could we do in Scotland to help our friends out here in Malawi? And Maxwell said, you could help us to keep secondary school age girls in education by paying their school fees. And Margaret and John said, well, I'm sure we could set up a wee fund, ask some of our friends. And that's how our Mamie Martin Fund was set up. We are a personal and a family-based organisation. It started just amongst mum and dad's friends and neighbours and church community and so on. But here we are many years later, and there are a growing number of women in Malawi that we have helped through their secondary school age. And it's really great to know that they're now able to play their part in their community and in their country, because they've had that wee targeted bit of help at secondary school age. We know that if you educate a girl through secondary school, they are likely to delay their childbearing for a few years. They are likely to have paid work and to be quite healthy, as are their children. Their children are likely to go to school. The women are more likely to take part in the democratic processes. So it really is a very simple and targeted way of changing the world. What's not to like, one wonders. All good family relationships are based on partnership and mutual respect. And we do try and reflect that in our work with the Mamie Martin Fund. We listen carefully to our friends and our colleagues in Malawi and Scotland, and we work hard at our governance and transparency. We employ a Malawi manager, Mercy Sabandi, and we try to be good employers. We're fortunate to receive very generous donations and legacies and supports and grants, and we're very careful to use these responsibly. We are proud of our good reputation, but we never take it for granted, and we learn from any mistakes that we make, and we celebrate our successes and our achievements. Now, I don't speak much Chichewa. I've tried to learn, but I'm going to say thank you very much in Chichewa. Zikomo Kwambiri.